Hello everyone, and welcome to our monthly live call here on IminiWealthTV. Can you all hear me? Awesome. Now we are live on IminiWealthTV as well as all social media platforms. I'd love to welcome everyone joining us today. Welcome to our monthly live here on IminiWealthTV. My name is Lolaowokoniran. I am the founder and the CEO of IminiWealthGroup. We are an online financial educational platform and financial services provider for individuals, families, and businesses. We're so excited to have you here. And today, as we said earlier, our monthly call, live Q&A session for the month of March. At this time, we'd love to hear from all our viewers and welcome you all. And also, if you could please type your name as you join us and the city you're joining us from. Would really appreciate it. Would love to acknowledge you on the call. So if you're on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, please type it in the comment section and we'll do our very best to acknowledge each and every one of you that post a comment on there. Also, please share this link and invite everyone and anyone to join us. If it's worth listening to, then it's definitely worth sharing. We are live on all social media platforms, YouTube, IminiWealthTV, Facebook, Instagram, IminiWealthGroup. Please share. I'm going to give you a few minutes to do that. And I'm also going to do that as well. And if you've not already, please do not forget to subscribe to our channel here on IminiWealthTV to be part of an amazing community of subscribers. Turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any of our weekly uploads. Share this video and hit the like button to support us. Please share. I'm going to give everyone a few minutes to go ahead and post the links and share and invite someone. And as we're going live, please post again where you're dialing in from. Would love to hear from you, the city you're calling in from, joining us from, both on Facebook and on Instagram. Thank you all so much. I'm going to give everyone a few minutes. I'm doing that also on my device. So take your time. Here we go. We are live. It is 7:05. Thank you all so much. Now, to all our book lovers out there, IminiWealth readers, remember the book for the month of March is this book, Clever Girl Finance by Bola Sokunbi. It's a very great read for anyone that has, a goal of enhancing their financial journey this year. She has this is a great read for each and every one of us. So please join us on our reading challenge this year as we acquire more knowledge on different topics on this platform. I'd love to encourage you all to join us. And I'll leave the link for this book in the video description of this video in the comment section as well. I'll leave a link for you to order your own copy. It's a Kindle version as well as paperback as well. At this time, again, would love to hear from all our viewers, subscribers. Thank you all so much for joining us, and we welcome each and every one of you. So if you could please type your name and, if possible, the city where you're joining us from. Would love to acknowledge you and appreciate you for joining us tonight on your busy Monday. I know we know it's Monday, 7 p.m. But one way for us to appreciate you is by, acknowledging you all. All right. Yeah, and Tweet, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate you. Thank you so much. All right. Let's give everyone a few more minutes and then we'll kick it off right away. Okay. All right. So again, welcome to IminiWealth monthly live call, where we go deep into the fascinating world of finance. We have discussion and financial education, teaching about wealth building and empowerment. This monthly live call is special, and it's a very special one in honor of National Women's History Month. Throughout the month of March, we celebrate the achievements and contributions of women in various fields, including accounting, finance, business, and economics. Today's session is dedicated to the theme Women Talk Money, where we'll explore the evolving role of money in financial decision making, the importance of financial literacy, strategies for financial empowerment, and much more. So join us as we celebrate the legacy of women in shaping our financial landscape and empowering one another with knowledge for a brighter future today. Now, let's meet our speakers. For today's talk on Women Talk Money, I have a beautiful, distinguished lady, Awanatu J. Savage. She's a multi-talented woman who seamlessly blends her passion for culinary arts, content creation, and fashion to empower women to feel confident and comfortable in their skin. As a skilled chef, she tantalizes taste buds with her culinary creations while also sharing her expertise through engaging content. With a keen eye for style, she creates fashion inspiration that celebrates individuality and self-expression. Through her work, she aspires to inspire women to embrace their uniqueness and thrive in every aspect of their lives. Welcome, 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 Hawanatu, and thank you for accepting to be our guest speaker on this call today. We appreciate you as always.
Thank you.
The next speaker we have is Nike Shonola. Nike is a beautiful woman, highly distinguished as well, a spirit-filled woman. She has an MSc in finance and a bachelor's in economics. In her career, she obtained her CPA and has accounting and finance experience of over 15 years. So ladies and everyone watching us, we have a packed room of knowledge on this platform here tonight. She's a wife, a sister, and a mother as well. And lastly, our guest tonight, before I move on to her, Nike, I'd love to say also, I call her Denike or Moba. Yes, that's our inside. That's my nickname for her. You know, I appreciate you for being my sister, my friend. Ever since I've met you, you know the rest. But thank you for joining us on tonight's call. Thank you for accepting also to be one of my guest speakers here tonight. I truly appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm so glad to be here too.
Thank you so much. Now, lastly, I saved the best for the last. Nothing against you all, but when we have an elderly, well-talented, the wisdom over years. When I read the resume, it's going to say it all. She's experienced in accounting and finance. She's a professional. She has an MBA in real estate finance, an MS in accounting and finance from the Wharton School of Finance. In her career, she obtained her CPA as well and has accounting and finance experience of over 25 years. Yes, hands down, she has more experience than everyone on this call tonight. So
Thank you.
We're going to tap into that as well. She has a wealth of management experience as an accounting manager and controller. She has an associate realtor broker with Keller Williams Realty and working as an independent realtor. She believes strongly that God blessed her with two great careers, accounting and real estate. She is 78 years old. I'm saying, looking this good. Looking this good. Currently, to me, she's semi-retired because she does real estate and she's retired. You know, she's a mother and also a grandmother. I call her grandma. She is a woman of many talents as well. She actually, not to get too personal, but because of time. Thank you so much, Miss Sandra, for accepting and honoring my invitation to joining me on this call to also be a blessing to everyone watching us tonight. I know for a fact you have impacted me as well as my family in many ways, and I want to share you with the world as well. So thank you. Thank you for accepting. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Oh my gosh.
So a big thank you to these beautiful, talented, and brave women for honoring my invitation today.
Yeah.
Viewers, we're in for a treat today. So please stay tuned. Keep sharing the link and please post your questions in the comment section. We should be done within the hour. Let us show our appreciation to each of them by hitting the like button on this video. The more likes we get, the more support we get. This video gets more viral and gets to the right people that need this information. And please keep sharing as well. And please do support our channel, IminiWealth TV, by subscribing. Yes, all it takes is one click and you're done. Thank you so much. Now, I'm going to go on to the comment section and see who we have here. Awesome, awesome. We have Antwi, we have Emanuela Kwashe, Sophia Benjamin. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We have Janice and Yahoo, Princess Nadia, Sibio Elizabeth, the favored consults. Thank you, thank you. Thank you all so much. I'm going to go on Facebook now and see who we have here on Facebook, just to acknowledge a few of our viewers who we have here tonight. We should be done again within the hour. So I appreciate each and every one of you for joining us today. I'm going to go ahead and get started with a few pre-submitted questions that we have at hand today to start off today's live. So please, again, leave your questions and comments in the comment section. Please share, 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 share. I'm going to keep emphasizing on that to support us on this platform and to encourage our women on this call today. So certainly we have. I'm going to go on with the first question. I'm going to address this. I'm going to have Miss Sandra. I'm going to start with you, and then we'll hand it over to Nike, and then Howard, you go last. So we're going to go on to financial empowerment. Let's touch on that. So the question here is, what does financial empowerment mean to you as a woman?
To me personally, it means being self-sufficient and self-reliant, financially independent, having the knowledge to use to make life a little bit easier for you and have that knowledge for critical decisions that are needed in life. That's basically it. Being able to hold onto your principles.
Okay.
When you have that independence, you have that when you're self-reliant.
Thank you, ma'am. Nike, over to you.
All right. So I think for me, I like to look at it like sort of pieces, those two things, like financial and empowerment, two different things that we put together. Now, if I look at empowerment, I see it as being able to do something, either you have the right knowledge, tools that you need to get the task done, either through your education or training or exposure, whatever you have that empowers you to do anything you want to do. So that's empowerment. So now when you now bring both together, we're now talking money, being able to, have like access, if possible, to finances, or being able to even, have the right, financial, either it's money or wealth or, anything that you have in that regard to empower you to be able to stand almost on your own, like what Miss Sandra said, like being independent as much as possible to make your critical decisions. You have the right tools that you need, either through your education or whatever exposure that you have, to guide you to be able to stand on your feet and live as a human being should. That's just my own take on that. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much. How about you, Hawa?
Financial empowerment. I believe financial empowerment for me is the ability to break free from barriers And empowerment is to empower yourself in any way, shape, or form. To piggyback off what the lady said, just basically being free, whether it's in the aspect of business, whether it's career, finances, just setting some type of foundation, not only for you, but for generations to come as well. So that's what I think financial empowerment means to me as a woman.
Thank you. Can anyone, well, I'm going to throw this question to you three ladies. Can you be empowered? Is there a height to that? Or is it an ongoing thing that you keep gathering that empowerment over years?
I guess because I have so many years on you ladies, I can tell you it is over years. Knowledge, you build on knowledge. Experiences become knowledge, good and bad. You grow from the impact life has on you. And your financial condition should improve as a result of that. You make better decisions.
Thank you so much. Thank you. And so the next question I have here, still on empowerment. How do you believe financial independence contributes to overall empowerment? Because we hear that phrase a lot: financial independence, financial empowerment, but we have to connect the two together. So how do you believe financial independence contributes to overall empowerment? Miss Sandra, you could go first.
For me, financial independence allows freedom of choice and a peace of mind, less stress. When you have less stress, you have the mindset to make better decisions. So you remove the stress, your decision making becomes more readily for you. Also, it allows you to take advantage of opportunities and confront various life challenges as they come along. It gives you the opportunity also to help others.
Thank you. Nika, do you have any inputs on that?
Yeah, I was just going to share my own little story here as well on how being financially independent contributes to my overall empowerment. So I remember when I was in the UK, I was, studying for my master's program, and I came from a background where your parents literally, they pay for your tuition, they pay for living expenses, pretty much everything they pay for, if possible, up to master's level, in as much as they have the power to do that. That's the kind of background I came from. So I had almost everything at my, silver. It was just there. However, when I got to the UK, I thought to get a part-time job out of my own free will. And it was enough to sort of help me get by my living expenses like rent or food and transportation. Of course, they paid for the big tuition, but the little ones, I was able to pay for that. So what that process, and I was in a different land where, that wasn't where I was born. So it was a lot of change and process of growth and strengthening, So what that whole piece taught me, or what I learned from that whole piece was, I was able to sort of live within my means or create my own financial goals or my plans within what I was earning, not having to be dependent on someone, even though it was there. I didn't want to, and I just didn't do that, So for me, it sort of gave me that freedom or that peace to chart my own course and be able to be my own woman from that angle, because I was able to, be independent in terms of finances. I could command my money. And and of course, as women, if we think that, okay, that money is, it's not sufficient or for whatever reason, we can always launch out, either through education, get a better job to give us a more robust, kind of living life that we want. So for me, it's sort of being independent sort of made me more empowered to be my own woman and to continue to grow in that path. And that has helped me even up until now in my own financial empowerment. So I think that's my own connection of both, from my own personal story. Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. So we're gonna go a little bit more personal now. Now, I want to ask you all to share your experience with negotiating. I'm gonna focus on Nike and Miss Sandra here. When it comes to careers, many of us women are, in the careers, different careers across the board. Um, can you share your experience with negotiating for a salary or promotion? What worked well for you as a woman, and because we also have to compete with another woman or with another man. So, and then we find that in the workforce also, men tend to earn more than women. But that's getting better now. Things are changing. Equality here. So, but please share your experience on that, Miss Sandra. I'll let you go first here.
As an employee in an employee position, you have to be prepared in advance to tell what contributions you have made to the organization. I think we fail in that. We should keep documented records of your contributions as you go along because you forget about it over that period of time. And the accolades that you get, you make sure all of that you keep track of. Don't depend on your supervisor to keep track of that. They don't. They've got a whole slew of people to deal with. So when you go to negotiate, you already have your documentation. And if it's in written form, as in many organizations, you make sure you have it all in there to bring up the contributions that you've made to the success of the department. Now, since I came to Georgia and California and prior, I was an employee. I was in upper management positions, accounting manager, controllership. When I got to Georgia, that wasn't an option for me. They wanted to put me in accounts payable or lower skilled talented areas. They didn't see the value. Well, I had to work, so I switched into contract assignments. That contract assignments allowed me over a period of time, instead of having a contract consulting company get the major part of my work effort, after a while, I was able to do my own negotiating. I had contacts along that route. I left good positive experiences at the organizations that I had been in, remembering that at some point in time, I wanted to go out on my own. And therefore, when it came that point in time, I was able to negotiate and get my own contracts with the various companies. So that was my experience. You have to know your value. No, you don't rely on someone else to know that. And you have to be able to speak it to them. You have to speak it. Writing, people don't always look at writing. You take advantage of that opportunity of one-to-one to indicate what you bring to the table.
Thank you so much. I was taking notes. I hope you all were too. So although the recording is available on YouTube for you to go back and watch it, but it's a good time to take notes so you know the steps and tips you want to follow back on, after the call to start practicing. So, Nike, do you have any addition to what Ms. Sandra said? Yes. Any of from your own experience? Yes.
Yeah. So I think going back to what Ms. Sandra said, writing down your achievements or whatever you accomplished on your job, and the fact that your supervisor is not going to keep a tab on that for you. I mean, that was something that I've always learned, but I'm glad I'm being reminded to keep doing it, because really you have to be the one to speak for yourself in the workplace. Nobody's going to do that for you, because in their mind, they want to have you on board for the lowest amount as possible. But you have to be the one to say, oh, you know what, this is not what I deserve. I deserve more than this. It's really on us. So I believe, Ms. Sandra, maybe touched more on maybe like promotion within the company. I'm going to go in the angle of when you're just getting into the company. So because I've done maybe multiple jobs, so I've been into that negotiation situations a lot of times, but I'm not a lot of times, but I've done that quite a number. But anyway, so for me, one thing I know that we need to always remember is that when we have an interview with a company, for example, we should always know that the company needs us as much as we need them. It's always is a two-way street, because they are trying to make money or cut some cost or whatever, and then they wanted to come in. So that's their own benefit. So you're going there either to advance your career or to make money. So you're both gaining something, and you're both, learning about each other. So I go into interviews, or we should go into the interviews wanting to learn more about the role, not because of the money we want to make as such, but you want to know about this position. And that's because I found out that many times you can gauge the importance they lay on these positions through your conversations, because then that would determine also how much they want to offer you even for that particular position. Because you'd be amazed how the same position, a company can pay up to 120K, one company maybe 70K or something, or even within the same company, So you really want to know how, if you can get that feel from the interview, like how they really value that position itself. And that will give you an advantage to sell yourself and to also place a value on what you're looking for. I mean, that's what I do. And it's sort of worked for me in many cases. And always, like what Miss Sandra said, that we should always know our value, what we bring to the table, what makes us up, either our education, either your experiences, whatever you accomplished in the past, and your time is value. Your time means a lot, even if it's just from the same 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., whatever thing. I mean, because during that time, you could be doing something else which you're not doing to work for somebody else's company, to be somebody else's, business. So that time that you're losing, not doing the other thing, it must worth something to you, right? So you have to come to the table knowing your worth and ready to negotiate. Be okay to talk about money when that money phase comes. And for me, once it gets to that money phase, you never go with the first salary they give you. The offer, you never ever do, even if it's like the highest of your range. Don't accept that, because I believe that when HR comes to you, they're coming with their lowest amount in their range. So don't accept it. I never do.
Yes.
So instead, thank them for their offer, thank them and whatever you got to say, and then sort of rehash or resell yourself and let them remember what you bring to the table, and then give them a value that I would say give them like a higher range of your own value too. Not the medium. Give them the higher range of your value and give that, because they are going to go back and come back to you with something else, and then maybe, if it's gonna be okay or good for you, it may be a happy medium where they're gonna come back to you. But once they come back to you with an amount, you either take that or you sort of don't take the job out, because going back and forth, you don't want to have that at all. So once you get to that happy medium and it's okay, it's within your range, then you can accept that and just move on from there. So that's the way that I have always been negotiating my salary for my jobs, and it's always helped me, so far so good. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you. Key things to take away: know your value. Know your value as a woman and speak it. If you don't say it, no one will sell you.
Nobody knows it.
I agree.
You can only sell yourself, and keep tab of your accomplishments, your tasks, your journey. Don't settle for the first salary they give you. Negotiate. The worst they can say is no, or meet you halfway. Negotiate on the salary, negotiate on the benefits as well.
Yeah.
Home days, negotiate. Don't retract. Don't be fearful. ask. You know, as the Holy Bible says, ask and he
You shall see.
receive. You know,
Mhm.
so you have to ask.
Yeah.
You know, so so now I'm gonna another Awa, do you have anything to add on from your own experience, sharing on your own experience in the workplace? Have you What's been your experience so far
Mm.
in the workplace? Yes.
Okay. How can women navigate challenges and biases in the workplace to advance their career? I think it's kind of piggybacking off of the question that we just asked.
Mm-hmm.
Knowing your value and what you present. If you're not confident in yourself, you cannot expect no one else to be confident in you. So, the current job that I work in, by the grace of God, I would call it data analysis times 10. But coming into the corporate world, I had to understand who I was and the value that I brought. And then you also have to think about there's other people who are also applying to this job. So what sets you apart from the next candidate? Yes, I have skill sets and yes, I went to school, but then also too, similar what to everyone else says, you have to also understand that as you're looking for a job, they're also looking for someone to fill in that gap as well. So one of the things that helped me was understanding, okay, yes, I'm going to be a benefit to this company, but how can this company also benefit me?
Benefit me.
And then when you go into the interview, you kind of come with a relaxed sense of peace, knowing that at the end of the day, you present value and the company also brings value to you as well. So one of the things that helped me was understanding that as much as they need me, I need them. And
Yes.
then also too, that just allows you to kind of navigate in such a way that what's meant for you will be for you. So.
Amen. Amen.
That's right.
Best for you will be for you.
Mhm.
Um,
Mhm.
okay. Do you have anything um to say to this? Any challenges
Let
or
me see.
biases? Yeah, in the workplace.
Okay, so in this particular one, I tend to come from two perspectives again, or two angles again. From me as a worker, and also from somebody in your office or in your company who is gonna be like your advocate, or like who is gonna be sounding your praises, sort of.
Mm-hmm.
So from the angle of me being as a worker, the way I tend to approach these things are, companies are existing for their bottom line. That's the ugly truth, but it's about making money.
Mhm.
They may have human face to it, have human activities, HR activities, or whatever. But at the end of the day, it's about the bottom line. If it's not working out for them, they won't think twice to show you the door.
Mhm.
So, bottom line. So, that being said, I know that when I get to the company, I want to also like be able to do well myself,
Mm-hmm.
and also remember that I'm there to actually
Mm.
and have decent relationships, not cordial. I'm not expecting cordial kind of relationships.
Mm-hmm.
Just have great relationships with people generally, and also try to not bring sentiment into your work.
Mhm.
Things will not go the way you always want them to go, and we have to learn to be okay with that. It's an organization, and just move on as an organization. So that would help us to sort of like being put our mindset in a better place of approaching issues that may come along the way. I'm here to work. It's bottom line for me too. It's bottom line. I'm here to get something, and there to get something for me as well. And I'm gonna try to be less sentimental as much as possible and get the work done and be good at my job. So that's my own take on the employee side. Now, for the other side, who is gonna of somebody who is there already, who's gonna help me to advance? Because either we like it or not, we need somebody to sing our praises at that table.
Yes.
It could be your manager, it could be somebody that's encountered your work before, but it just be there talking. Maybe they have a coffee meeting or whatever meeting they're having, and they just oh, what do you think about Nikki and all of that? And they just sing my praises. So we have to also be able to like have good relationship with people like that, to be able to like know them more, get closer to them, and be ready to do the work. Because knowing the managers, they're gonna be passing work to you, right? So we have to be ready to do the work that it entails to get closer to management so they can know what we do and they can help also sing our praises to help us advance in that company. So to me, it's a two-way thing, and I'm working my way in those two-way myself. I'm not there yet. It's always a work in progress anyway. So, but that's the way I tend to look at workplace, advancement and things like that.
Thank you. Thank you for saying that. I believe strongly, just you mentioned a challenger and someone that will speak up for you, in such meetings. And I also want to add on to that. I personally believe that in your tribe, in your community of people, you should have three people that, three set of people that you hold on to closely. You need a cheerleader, you need a challenger. Miss Sandra is laughing. You need a cheerleader, you need an advocate, and you need a challenger. Those three people. You'd never go wrong with them. Those are relationships you want to guard closely: a challenger, an advocate, and a cheerleader. So I just wanted to add that to what Miss Nika said earlier. Miss Sandra, so from your own perspective, to the question on the screen, how can women navigate challenges and biases in the workplace to advocate their careers?
Well, my basic premise is that you can only control and be responsible for your own behaviors and attitude. And when you bring a positive, caring attitude to the table, that spreads, number one. Number two is be open to new avenues. Everybody has something different.
Yes.
Be open and listen to them. Then there are areas that can be very, very challenging. The one thing that I had picked up as a tool that is taught is the what you call it, the quadrant analysis, when you learn your bosses, your principal people around you, and yourself. Do the quadrant analysis of that. And I forgot what that term, that
the SWOT analysis.
Quadrant, the DISC assessment. It's called the DISC assessment. I think that is critical, especially when you're coming into an organization, to find out what makes each of the critical people that you work with tick, but also know yourself. Because you have to stretch in order to be able to make the whole group work as one. And there are different people with different characteristics, and you have to learn how to do that. Your boss second, yourself first. And that's called the DISC analysis. I may not have the proper term. I think when you do that, you open yourself up, you make yourself available to people. You learn how to step out of your safety, step out to their safety environment and drop back into yours. That's what it's all about. So I think that's what you do when you're coming into definitely a new environment. Definitely. You have to learn what works in that organization. If an organization or the area is so toxic that you cannot stay there, then you need to move on and do it at your own pace, so that when you move on, you leave good vibes behind. You leave no negativeness behind. No matter what was going on, you do not leave negatives behind, because you have, down the road, there'll be people that you're going to need to call on.
Yes.
And you have not left that negativeness there. And your experiences were there. And you want to have that referral coming through to you. So it puts a whole lot on you as an individual, but that is life. It is life. You have to deal with it. So wherever you can, you learn what that environment is all about, what are the triggers in that environment. So you learn how to work with those triggers. At the point it becomes more than you can handle, then you ought to start doing your exit and setting yourself up to be able to move on and leave good vibes behind. That's my answer.
Thank you. Thank you, ladies, for all your contributions. Thank you so much. Now, at this time, if you're enjoying this video, to all our viewers out there, again, thank you all for joining us tonight. I'd love for you to hit the like button, subscribe to this channel, and please share this video to as many people as possible to support us here on this platform, and hit the like button to appreciate all the guest speakers we have on the call today. That's one way you can appreciate us, by hitting the like button to encourage us to have more of these sessions in the coming weeks, in the coming months as well. Thank you all again so much. I'm going to go on. I have a question here. What role do you think financial education plays in closing the gap, the gender wealth gap? Yes. I'm going to have Howard start off with this one.
Okay. Well, it plays a huge role, especially in this day and age where women want equality, and then also to where a lot of us are making a lot of money, and sometimes we make more money than the other gender. So it plays a huge role because it allows us to understand that, yes, we have financial freedom, but to some extent, it closes the gap to kind of help us to understand that we hold value as well. So I think that the financial education closes the gap that we don't also have to be reliant on the other gender, that we ourselves have the willpower and the strength to be able to make wealth and to acquire, not only again for us, but generations to come as well. So just informing ourselves and educating ourselves in that capacity, I feel like it just plays such a great role in bridging the gap between both genders.
Okay, thank you so much. Miss Sandra, how about you?
Your question, I think, is what the role financial education plays. Financial education or control and courses are relevant no matter what your field is. It is any type of business you're going in, you need to understand the financial involved in it. It helps not only in that business, it helps you personally. It helps you direct and control your financial experiences at home. So education is key, and it's non-ending. It does not stop. If you stop, you're going to get lost, especially at the pace things are going now, at such a rapid pace. You will be left behind. And when you're left behind, you're going up against others who've chosen to keep up with their education. And that education becomes critical to you getting your business online up to par, and being able to accept whatever challenges come along. Again, it's going at such a fast pace. Again, I've been here a long time, so I've seen the room with the computer. The whole room is the computer. Now you got it on your wrist. That's an example of what we're facing. So if you think you're going to get that degree and that is not going to work for you. It is not going to work. And the expectation from anyone dealing with you is that you are up to date with the field that you're saying is your specialty.
It's true. Thank you. So I'm going to link up this question here, the next question. How can we encourage more women? Ms. Sandra, I want you to take this one first. How can we encourage more women and girls to pursue careers in finance and related fields?
I fell in love with accounting. Can you believe that? I was going to be a social worker. My second year of college, my roommate was struggling with her. She was in business administration and accounting was required. And I helped her because I'm good with math. I worked with her that whole semester. The next semester, I had to start from scratch. This is my second year, moving over to a new career. I spent 5 years in undergraduate school because of that. I would do it over and over and over again. Whatever your passion is, that's where you need to go. That's where you need to be. And of course, you always have to have something else on the side because things happen in life. But me and accounting, it has helped me throughout my whole life. Your decision making that comes from that. You learn to make decisions. You learn to as things pop up, you move to the next thing. That accounting arena or finance arena, you're the first ones that open the business door and the last ones that close it. So your career is longer. The number of positions that come out of that finance and accounting is all over the board. And then other people, because they know you, give you opportunities that they don't give to others. Because you have a skill set that is desirable. And it shows that you have the tenacity to stick with something and do your best. So hands down, accounting, finance, absolutely. Absolutely.
Thank you so much. Nikki, how about you?
I guess for me, it's a long story. I mean, in terms of so I didn't slump into, let me say I didn't get into accounting because that was like my first choice. But I was gonna become a doctor, really. So Sandra, it's just, yeah, I was gonna do that. I wonder how I would have performed, but that was gonna be my line. But as life and things would have it, I delved into accounting. But it's been a great journey. I'm glad I chose that path. And that's because there's, like what Miss Sandra said, there's so many opportunities. It's such a wide field. And every company needs an accountant. Even small mom and pop shops, eventually they go to need one accountant at some point. So it's such a desirable set of skills to have. It's reliable. It has a long lifespan, sort of. It's never out of. Of course, there's AI and automated stuff happening. We can always get that education to keep on going. So that being said, so what I tell women or girls is that, just like what Miss Sanders said, follow your passion. If that's what you want to do, go ahead and do it, and just equip yourself. Go to school, get exposure, ask people, talk to people, attend seminars or whatever you got to attend, and just be. If you love math, if you love account, if you love to solve problems, or if you love to. Somebody was asking me, what do I do? And I told them that I help companies put their numbers together in a way that makes sense. That's what I told them. If you think you like to put numbers, play with numbers, and arrange them in a way that it will make sense and can actually have companies get some value from that and help them project to the future too, then yes, by all means, come to this wonderful field. And I feel like, because when I look at the people in our field, in the accounting field, the women are generally in a good number to some degree. However, what I personally don't see is maybe African immigrants in this field. I mean, that's really what it is. For example, when I was doing my exams to get my CPA license back in Washington State, and I would look at all the CPAs in my state. maybe only 2 or 3 were really from where I was from originally, and I've been like, and because I can tell from our names, so our names gives us away, either your first name or your last name, you can tell they're African of some sort. But anyway, so I could tell without even talking to them. I guess, just to add to like educating women to be in that field. It doesn't matter where you are, either where you're from, really. If you think that's where you have passion in, let's encourage our women to join and not just go into medicine or go into, engineering or whatever. It is stereotypical, good fields in people's minds, just let's encourage them to just, go with their passion. It's a good field to be in for sure. Accounting and finance. It's huge. So yeah.
Yep. So I'm gonna stick to you, Nikki. I'm gonna add this question to what you just explained. So, as a woman, as a wife, as a mother, a sister, how do you balance your financial goals with family, with personal and family priorities? We're gonna go more personal now. Yeah.
Oh, that one, I could be quite frugal. So I think I may have a good thing working for me in that line. So for me, I tend to work with a budget.
Okay.
Even if it's not documented, I have a mental budget of what I'm spending and how much I'm making or my family is making and all of that. It's there. And I can remember when this is really personal, but anyway, whatever. So, but when I got married, I sort of had to itemize because I got married and I moved to the US. So, and my husband has been here for much longer. So I'm like, okay, babe, can you itemize or let's itemize everything plus
Hmm.
all the bills that we have plus all the debts that I was marrying into everything. So we itemize all that and sort of try to sort them out one by one to get
Hmm.
us to a financially stable place, And of course, that would impact like relationships, maybe those we used to give money to, it had to stop or whatever. That would impact, but it was for my family, family's benefit. We had to come to that point. Okay, you know what, babe? If we don't have this money, we are not gonna spend it. So, in a nutshell, we had a budget, mental paper in the system, whatever, to help us track our spending with our income. And anytime we think we're going away from that, we have a meeting, come back together, babe, we can't keep doing this. Let's get back to the plan. So, and then I also have my priorities too in terms of what is important for me to spend money on and what is not important. What is a need and what is a want? What is luxury or what is just, I mean, I have 3 kids, but anyway, I tell them, is this a need or is this a want? If it's a need, yes, I'm going to meet that. If it's a want, forget it, at least for now, until I have room for that. So I do have my priorities on what's important to me and my budget. So that's the way I've been able to keep us in shape of some sort.
That's good.
So yeah, that's the way I balance my life, my family, and our finances.
Thanks for
Yeah.
sharing that. So how did your husband react to that approach?
Well, so it's not conventional because in terms of is he was open and and that made him unique as well because not all partners are open in that regard or willing to really sit down with you and try to iron out their finances. Not everybody's in that place. But I think I was fortunate to have somebody who was ready. Maybe he saw what was missing anyways and like, wait, baby, let's fix this problem or whatever it was. But it was open to get it fixed. And since then, we've just been like working together to put a family as a whole in a good
Mm.
place, not working separately or Nika, you do this, I do that, or what. I mean, we're still individual human beings, but our finances are sort of like together so we can plan for the family that way. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's for a lot of accounting or a lot of families that have accountants. I think we can all relate with that story. So, but I'll say one thing: once the other spouse sees the result, it's easier for them to come on board and also follow in line. The struggle or the arguments or the conversations reduces. So it's just the challenge is drawing out the plan, sticking to it. When you both see the results, you both have the freedom to take a vacation to your dream places, to Paris, to Italy, because you can afford it. If that's on your list of things you want to do with your money, your financial goals. If your goal is to save for your retirement, to retire at the age of 50, and you reach that goal, talking about retirement, Miss Sandra is retired. And, she's not in a nursing home or she's in her own place. You can decide to travel to Dubai tomorrow if she wants to, because she started planning early. The early planning is very important, but not to go too further because of time. I'm gonna ask Howard this question here. It's focusing on sorry. It's focusing on entrepreneurship. How can we support each other as women in business? In strengthening each other? Are there tools? Are there ways that we can sharpen each other's and support each other, grow each other? As women, even if we're in the same industry, sometimes there's some what's that word? Some friction.
Friction.
Sometimes it's uncalled for. So the men, it's
it's easier for them.
Yeah, but how can we grow each other? How can we help and support one another in one spirit? And I want to apologize to all our viewers out there. I think this is good conversation. We'll be wrapping up 8:10, so please bear with us another 10 more minutes. We'll be wrapping up shortly. Thank you so much. Yeah, go ahead, Awa.
How can we, I would say, understand that there's room for everyone. I think for me, when I first started cooking in my hometown, it just seemed like when I decided to start cooking, everyone started cooking. And I think when you start to look at things as competition, that's when we fail. I think another thing is having platforms like this where we all can come and learn. There's something that you guys know that I don't know, and vice versa. So I think just having the mindset that we all can contribute some way, some shape or form. I know for me, when I was starting off with my culinary arts, there was a particular dish that I had difficulties with. But if I walked in pride and said, oh, well, I know everything, that limits my ability to learn and further my career. So one of the things that I did is I looked for someone who was more advanced in what it was that I was doing, and in that I was able to bridge that gap. So I think one of the things that we can do to help is understand that we all are a hand. The Bible literally says that the arm cannot tell the leg that it doesn't need it. We all play a huge part. So just understanding that there's some knowledge transfer that can really help, and it could just build so many different platforms for us women in entrepreneurship, or just in general in our careers as well.
Okay, thank you so much. I'm going to throw this question. Oh, Miss Sandra, go ahead.
To piggyback on what you said, I was raised in a family of boys. All my young childhood was all boys. I was the only girl. And then I get into corporate, and in the time frame that I went in, it was no women hardly, all men. So personally, as a woman, I have difficulty with women. And I believe it's because how men are raised a certain way and women are raised another way. And I've been up in the environment with the men and the boys and all of that. I'm a tomboy, was a tomboy, still there. But it's different. And because it is different, I have to, when I'm in an environment of women, I don't feel comfortable, and I have to be on top of my actions and my words, because I know I don't understand them and how they're talking and how they react to things, because I haven't been around women a lot. So it is definitely a difference between the two in terms of how they handle situations. They let things roll off of their back. I mean, they fuss and argue and they buddy back right together again. All of those things, there is a difference between the two.
Thank you so much. Nika, do you have anything to add on there?
No, I think I've emptied all my stories of my my family financial planning and all that. So
fair.
Yeah.
So what are some key steps that you can advise women to take to build wealth long term? Miss Sandra, I want you to take this one because you have achieved it. I mean,
About all that.
everyone on the platform here, we're getting there. We're building the blocks. So what are the key steps that women can take today to build long-term wealth where they're comfortable and can say, this is financial freedom, this is financial independence, this is, their peace and wealth, at large? Yeah, go ahead, please.
Women, and Black women in particular, I've read statistics that we are farther ahead than most women. We step out and we take those gambles, we take those chances. And maybe it's because we have to. But we, as a race of people, of women, we are strong.
Awesome.
We are definitely strong. We have to pivot when the circumstances hit. We know how to pivot. We know how to feel the hurt and pain and then have to move on, because we do have to move on. So those have set up, those circumstances has set us up to be a very strong culture of women. Anything we choose to do, when you tell your children anything you want to do, you can do, tell that to yourself. Anything you want to do, you can do it. God has blessed us as a race of people. And it's unfortunate that we most don't really understand that, what wealth we have within us. But it is showing, it is growing. And so there's nothing that you want to do that you can't do. Open your mind. It's going to require some sacrifices. Learn how to budget. Number one, credit here in this country, credit is what you need. You have to have it. Focus on that. Reduce your bills. Start with one at a time, knock them out. You should be having no debt when you get to my age. You shouldn't have any debt. Okay? That is something that you have to do. You can still have enjoyment and all the nice things you have, but you don't have to have, closet full of shoes. Closet full of shoes? No, you don't have to have that. You have family. You have to support them. You need to be able to put money aside so that emergencies come up, and I guarantee you they're going to come up, whether you manage yourself well or not. Things outside of your control come up. It's life. It is life. So prepare for it, because you're going to have to deal with it anyway. I don't know if that helps any.
Yes, it does. So, but what can you, in 1 minute, what can you speak to investments for women? How would you, what tips or words of encouragement can you say to a woman out there to invest? You're also into real estate. I get that. How can you encourage women to do that more confidently? Yes.
First of all, there's an old saying, when you rent, you're investing in someone else's dreams. You're not investing in your own.
Hmm.
In the old days, you started off with a 2-bedroom, 1-bath house. You didn't have to have 5 bedrooms on a basement.
Mm.
Family got together. When they came to visit, it was the best of times
Mm.
because you were together. You were communicating. You were up half the night talking and enjoying each other. Now you're in separate rooms. You really don't get to enjoy each other. You're spending money on a home that you're robbing your children from their future.
Mm.
That's the other side of it. You've also put yourself at your whole family at risk because I'm in the industry. And I know that loan officer is going to give you that loan based upon higher debt ratios than we used to have. So you're going to be what you call house poor. You house poor. That's a terminology we use in the industry. You have overextended yourself and not left enough room for the emergencies that do come along throughout your life. They come. One salary that goes away,
Mm-hmm.
you're out of work for a period of time. And when you're out of work and you don't have savings, your mental state is distraught. When you have that money put to the side, you have a clear vision to get back out there and do what you need to do.
Amen.
That is critical to you. So my strongest suggestion is that you need to learn how to save. Key number one, just start saving, little bit at a time. Um, I know you're out of time probably, so I won't continue because I can talk.
Yeah. That's good. Thank you so much, Miss Sandra. And we're gonna wrap it up with this last question. And let's again keep it short. Um, thank you to all our viewers out there. A few comments coming in. Ms. Colleen Walker says we all pay mortgages. You decide whether you pay yours or your landlord's. Yep.
Yes.
She's also a real
That's
estate
good.
agent. Yep. That's a good one. Again, she says, prepare and manage your finances. Good takeaway for Emanuela here. Anything I want to do, I can do it. Yes, girl, go. That is awesome. So, last question, and I'm going to throw this question to all my guest speakers here tonight. Again, thank you all for honoring this invitation. Um, what would what would it be if you could give financial advice to your younger self or younger women starting their careers today? What financial advice? What money advice? I'm not going to start with Miss Sandra because
You always telling me.
so, how are you? You go first. Yeah, and
Some
this
the
is
youngest I'll go, yes. To be honest, if I can be a little transparent, it's being vulnerable and asking for help. I think once you get to a point where I'm young and 30 and you can never stop learning. So just being, if you don't have information or if you don't know something, ask. I think in
yes,
this day and age, because of technology, it seems as if we know everything, but sometimes we really don't. So I feel like the advice that I could give myself is how if you need help with investing or if you need help and don't know how to do something, ask someone. So I think just being honest and open and understanding that there's always room for improvement. And I'd rather you ask than not ask at all and lack the room or gap to be able to just advance yourself.
that's
Yes.
a good one. Learn from other people's experience.
Hmm.
Learn
Yes.
from other people's mistakes. Why do you might like my pastor always says, why do you want to take the staircase where you can take the escalator?
Hmm.
Get to the top. So that's why I have people like Miss Sandra in my circle to keep putting fire behind me. So get me up there. But Nike, do you have any advice? What advice would you give your younger self? Yes.
Well, so I won't flog this too much. I guess for me, when I look at my life from the beginning till now,
Mhm.
I mean, I haven't had it all. Nobody really has it all, but I don't really have any points when I feel like, I mean, yeah, I had to learn on the way as I go. because I didn't just become anything from from blues, but I could say that I would tell my younger self to just stay calm, that you would do just fine.
Amen.
You will do just fine. That no matter what is going on, just keep going, keep going, keep going, and with God on your side, you will do just fine. That's what I would tell my younger self. So
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Now we're gonna wrap it up with Miss Sandra. Let's be short.
I'm trying. My number one thing I would say, and I'm going to use my as an example,
Okay.
is hold on to your principles no matter what circumstances confront you.
Amen.
God opens and he shuts doors. It is according to what his plan is for you. I vividly remember my first opportunity, my very first job. I had to keep two sets of books legitimately, one for the business and one for the government projects. And that my boss was insistent that I take the expenses from one and put it over onto the government. And we were constantly fighting because I refused to do it. I didn't know what to do. So I knew I had to leave that job. And that was my very first job. And it hadn't even been a year. When I look back on it, I see what God did. I applied for graduate school and I received a 2-year scholarship where I did not have to pay one dime for my getting my master's degree. I didn't pay a dime. I had undergraduate debt, but not for my master's. And my master's was for 2 years. And remember, I spent 5 years on that accounting. 1 year was all I needed for the master's in accounting and science. MS is in science, 1 year because of that. And then I had one more year under that program. And that's when I got my MBA in finance. God opens doors, he closes them. And as long as you keep coming back to him, keep under his umbrella,
Yes.
he makes a way.
Amen. Amen. He definitely does. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you to all our esteemed guest speakers. Special thanks to each and every one of you. Miss Nike, Miss Awanatu, Miss Sandra. Thank you so much for sharing your invaluable insights and your expertise on tonight's show. And I do apologize for going over time, but I felt this was really good. This was a good session. Your contributions have truly enriched our discussion and inspired us to take positive steps towards financial empowerment. Thank you so much. And let us, to everyone watching us, please let's show our appreciation by posting our reactions in the comment section, giving this video a thumbs up, any heart, just appreciate this video. The likes and the thumbs up will be very, very appreciated. Let's feel the energy in the room, guys. Thank you all so much. Thank you to all our viewers again for tuning in today for this discussion on Women Talk Money. Money, career, business. We touched on different topics, family, as we celebrate our National Women's History Month. Remember, again, to subscribe to our channel here on IminiWealth TV for more weekly insightful content and stay updated by following us on all our social media platforms. Let's continue to support each other on our financial journey. Until next time, my name is Lolaowokoniran. I want to leave it open to any of our speakers. Do you have any final comments, appreciations you'd love to say to our viewers out there?
I love the session we had.
Yes, very insightful.
It was
And I can
amazing.
say you're never too young to learn about finances and getting your finances in order.
Yes.
Never too young.
Thank you. Anyone else?
And keep watching.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Miss Sandra, one last one for the road.
I appreciate you, Lola.
Oh, thank you, Ms.
I am so proud of you as well.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. So we have the comments coming in from our viewers on the screen. Miss Carlene, Miss Janice, the favorite consults. Thank you. That's my husband. I appreciate you, honey. Thank you for the support each and every time. Emanuela saying, amazing conversation. So many gems were dropped. Awesome. More to come. Miss Colleen Walker, I am looking forward to having you on my show. We're going to work something out. She's also a realtor in the business. So women, we are doing powerful, 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 great things out there. Let's keep pushing. Let's keep pressing. It's only going to get better. Don't give up on that dream. And until next time, please stay financially empowered and have a good one. God bless.
God bless.